First, news you can trust.
Saul Albom Micro Cap Engine. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Bob. Great show, great interview to you. And as always, you can catch Bob here at 10 o'clock Central Time to get you the news that you need so that you can make better investing decisions. And I'm going to try my best to get into the chat room. I've had a little technical difficulties myself getting in with my battle rifle, my market battle rifle here, but I'll see if I can get in and join you guys in the chat room here in a moment. Guys, let me tell you, we have an action-packed day today. One, we got Andre Godin of Neptune Technologies and Resources. Now, this company just dual listed on the NASDAQ from the TSX. So we're going to be talking about that, his company, why he dual listed, and what's going on as far as the finances. Actually, I'm going to ask him a little bit about some short-term paper, too, so I'm quite curious about from a CFO perspective in a major company. Of course, again, we're going to chat about the company. Then we have microcap news all the way to the top of the hour for 45 minutes and some portfolio updates and some brick updates, too. So you want to stay with us. No other place for high risk, high return. You're in the microcap engine with me, Saul Albom, where we endeavor to find you the gold nuggets, the real companies in the microcap space that will make you money. These markets are not efficient. 85% of Wall Street's analysts focus on companies $1 billion and up in market cap. So you need someone on your side to help you find those nuggets. It is an inefficient marketplace. We are shining the light of truth there. So, again, so that you can make money. So, Andre, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up. Andre, this is Saul Albom, Market News First. How you doing?
I'm great. Yourself?
It is a great day today. We have Neptune Technology and Resources, ticker symbol NEPT in the U.S., and you're on the Toronto Stock Exchange. And what's the ticker for? I got it right here. It's NTB on the Toronto Venture. And Andre, let me go ahead and chat a little bit about the company here, and you let me know where I'm wrong or where I'm right. Neptune Technology and Bio Resources extracts, scientifically validates, and markets superior genuine health products from marine biomasses. Is that correct?
You're 100% right.
Okay, now why marine biomasses? Why that?
The reason why the company extract marine biomass, it's initially started in 1995 when the founder and presently CEO of the company, Henry Arden, found a marine biologist and started studying marine biomass. And at that time, he was exposed to krill. He started studying krill. And the reason why marine biomass is very simple. It's because it's at the bottom of the food chain, so extremely rich in nutrient. And why krill as a first biomass? It's because krill is basically it's a plankton, and it's the first species, living species after algae. So obviously, the lower you go in the food chain, the richest nutrient you can get from those species, and so that's why we went that direction.
Again, we're speaking with Andre Godin, the CFO or VP of Finance for Neptune Technologies and Resources on the NASDAQ and Toronto Venture. Now, you guys just recently dual listed. What was the financial calculation for the dual listing? Why did you do it? And what was the cost benefits? What were the costs and benefits for it? And, tell me the story behind it.
Obviously, it was it's always been part of the business plan or business model of Neptune to one day expand to the U.S. We have been very active the last 18 months in Canada, representing the company coast to coast and getting known. And the next step was to go to the U.S. And get support from the market in the U.S. And obviously, we have already started the last 6 months prior to the summertime addressing the U.S. investors, fund manager, and brokers to get our company known. So that was the first step. Now we got the listing on NASDAQ, and we hired an IR firm, ROI, in New York. So basically, in September, we're going to start going on the road show, for at least 3-4 months up to Christmas, and presenting the company, and hopefully we'll get support, and we'll get the American investor market to understand who we are, and start supporting our stock.
Now, Andre, I've interviewed the president of the Venture Exchange. I've had him on the show before, met him in person, and I'm quite intimately familiar with the venture. Now, what, as far as your calculus behind getting the exposure, how much less exposure does a company get on the venture versus the NASDAQ? Is it great? Is it like the bulletin boards? Is it a real big step up, or does it help a little bit? Tell me how it benefits you guys, really.
Yeah, the venture is probably, my understanding of the bulletin board OTC market in the U.S., the venture is probably a little bit more exposed, gets more exposure than the bulletin board. The issues, though, is for the U.S. investors and large institutions in the U.S., as usually they have a restriction in buying first in the Canadian market on the Toronto Exchange, and even more restriction on buying on the venture. And this is why it was very important for expansion. And, 80% of our sales anyways at this point are made in the U.S., so it is for us a very important market, both sales-wise and also for market support in terms of financial market. So we definitely get greater exposure for us in the U.S. with a U.S. listing, and much less restriction from the potential institution and broker-dealer and investor that wants to buy our stock.